In this episode, we talk to the great Frazer Smith, actor, comedian, radio legend. We talk nicknames, staying up all night. When's the last time you did that? Griffith Park. He does new jokes on the show. Questions from listeners. We talk about the Detroit Lions, Christmas trivia, and much, much more. All right, guys, let's get into the episode. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the Pocket Party Podcast. If you're a first-time listener, thank you. If you're a subscriber to the YouTube channel, thank you. If you're not subscribed, please click that little subscribe button. And do me a favor, leave some comments on the videos. It really does help the algorithm, that YouTube algorithm that they always talk about. But I'm feeling good. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I'm able to exercise now. I got that wisdom tooth removed a few weeks back, and I got the all clear from the doctor. So I'm back at the boxing gym, and life is good in the Carter household. Been playing board games, mainly aggravation, a little bit of the games that I'm into right now. This is a fun episode, and it's a short one, and we're going to bang out another one this week because you guys are giving me the motivation because of your wonderful donations, and that really does help. And all the stuff is in the description. Just look below. You will see all the places if you want to help out. And if anything, I love that you guys are sharing these episodes and letting people know about it, and letting me know that you listen and that you do care. It really does show that you care every time I get something like a positive feedback or something. So thank you. There's those days you wonder, like, dang, like, is this, am I ever going to get those 90,000 downloads, like, 100,000 downloads like some of my peers? But right when I have those thoughts, for some reason, it's almost like a Christmas miracle. I'll get some message from someone who listens, and they say, "Hey, Darren, you've taken me through some dark days," and I'm like, that's a sweet thing. By the way, just speaking of a recent shout out, Christopher McCrae messaged me and showed me a photo, and he said, "Party starter on the loading dock," episode 198, the previous episode. So thank you, Christopher McCrae. I do appreciate that, man. Thank you, the Miguel Romero. Thank you, Curtis Marsh. And thank you, Marcelo F., for the wonderful donation. That goes a long way. Keeps me motivated, keeps it going. Mary up in Oregon, thank you so much for your awesome messages and your interactions on YouTube. All right, guys, let's get into the episode. Let's start that party in your ear holes.
Pocket Party.
All right, we're going to call the one and only Frazer Smith. Frazer Smith. A real treat.
Wait a minute, it's the party guy.
Hey, there he is. That's right. The party guy. Yeah. Darren Carter, party starter. People go, why do they call you the party starter? I'm like, well, half of it is because it rhymes. Party starter, Darren Carter.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean you necessarily have to start every party.
Right. Yeah. I don't even necessarily attend them, to be honest with you.
Well,
yeah.
When you were younger and you first gave yourself that name, you were probably at a lot of parties. But I think it's a great name. And, it has a hook to it, as everyone knows. And I think it's part of what's made you famous.
Yeah, it's cool. Did you ever go with a nickname? Did you ever have that going for you?
I don't know. I mean, Smitty, because Frazer Smith, people used to call me Smitty. And then, and that was about it.
You're like, that's the only ones I'll talk about. They're not going to say.
Well, the other one was the party animal because, I kind of came up with that when I was on the radio. I was like the first guy to ever say that because I called myself the party animal.
Yeah.
Way back, even before Spuds McKenzie, that dog, the Budweiser dog, and even before Bill Murray and everybody, I was doing that way back in the late 70s. I was calling myself the party animal. And I don't know. I mean, I guess that was a nickname.
And did you live up to it? Were you really a party animal?
Back then I was, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it funny?
80s,
like,
bro.
You just, with life experience, that you just hit a certain thing where you're like, you know what? It's kind of fun just to not, just to wake up early in the morning and exercise, or, enjoy it's funny when you're old, when you're young, I enjoyed the late nights. Like, do you remember the first time you stayed up all night and you saw the sunrise and you're like, holy cow, it's the first time I've ever stayed up all night.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all experienced that. And back then, it was the early 80s when I was, big on the radio, and that was a real party time. It was kind of a freer, looser time where everybody was kind of just out there having fun, and it was a simpler world, and so you could afford to party. Nowadays, you really can't. You got to be on your toes.
Yeah, I know, right?
Dodging variants right and left.
Dodging variants. Yeah, that sounds like a new car out of Detroit. The new Dodge variant.
Not a bad idea. I like that. How about? But you could have a TV show, Dodging Variants.
Dodging, yeah, and just different variants come at you, and you got to like dodge them, almost like Squid Games.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I bet it's a different world. Back in the day, it seemed like it was more carefree. I guess that's the word I've been searching for.
Yeah, more carefree. But I do remember staying. I must have been in high school or right out of high school, and I just remember I don't even know what we were doing. It was just the idea that it was getting late. It was like 3:30, 4 a.m. and then it almost became a goal. Like, let's stay up until the sun, and then the sun comes up, and you're like, wow, like I've never done this in my life. And then eventually that gets old. But like the first time seeing the sun come up is amazing. Like when you've been up all night.
Yeah. Well, it's it's an experience. Back in the day, I guess why I keep going back in the day. Back then, I used to pull all-nighters all the time, because you're young enough to rebound. The next day, you can come back after a little nap or something, you're back. But nowadays, if I stay up all night, it takes me a week to recover.
Yeah, it's like, dude, what are you doing staying up all night? I know there's really you don't really want to stay up all night now. It's
you really don't, no.
Yeah. Side question, what time, is there a general time you usually call it a night and go to sleep when you're not like doing a gig or something?
I'm usually up pretty late no matter what, and I think it's because of those stand-up hours,
Yeah.
And where I had a hard time with it was when I had my morning radio show, because you have to get up so early for those. Oh. You got to be up at like 3:30, but I still couldn't get to sleep early. I was so used to staying up late, 2, 3 in the morning every night. So when I got the radio show, I was really, I was losing sleep because I was staying up late and then having to get up really early.
Oh man, I know when I would travel, like for comedy, like I could get by on a few hours of sleep, like one night, but then when it turned into 2 nights, to get up early to do radio, and then that's when you're just wiped out, and it's easier to get sick. I feel when I don't have a lot of sleep.
I think that's true. I think it's definitely true, and I think it's a weird dilemma of comics. We go on stage and we get your adrenaline starts going. So then when the show's over, you still got that buzz going, from being on stage, and it's hard to get to sleep. So then the other thing I think that's a problem for comics is we eat late, and that's not really good.
You're right. You're right though. To get my energy up, sometimes I'll, most of the times I'll drink some coffee. I might even have a couple of espressos because you don't want to be the guy yawning at the club and just, and so you're like, bang, 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 bringing the energy up. And then like you said, after the show, the energy's still there. And then you come home and you're starting to wind down. But then it's like, that's where I think it takes the discipline just to be like, okay, I can hang out for 2 hours on YouTube or whatever, or watch TV, or I can just start to really wind down and then go to sleep,
Yeah, and it's the other thing that you've experienced a lot, and road comics always deal with, and you, I think, mentioned this, is when you're on the road, you have to get up and do those early morning radio shows to promote your show. Oh, so, you've been up doing stand-up, and then you can't get to sleep. You're up till 2 or 3, and you got to be up at 5 o'clock to get over to the radio station.
Yeah, and when they're cool, it goes great. But when it's awkward and like there's maybe someone filling in, like I remember one time it was a Christmas time Christmas time morning show, and the regular Christmas crew was gone, or the regular morning crew was gone. So they had like the daytime shift lady in, and it was just one person, and all my jokes were self-deprecating. So she just kept going, and she had like a little pet therapy dog with her. So she was petting the dog, and as I'm doing my material, she kept going, "Aww, aww." You
You really don't want that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, lady, come on, snap out of it.
I know. I was like, yeah.
Even the dog was laughing.
Even the dog was like, yeah. He's like, come on, laugh. Hey, let's get. We know you don't have a lot of time because you got to do your own podcast over at the Laugh Factory. What is the name of your podcast that you just started?
Well, it's called Life of the Party, and with Frazer Smith. And, of course, that name was stolen, not by me, from our friend Jay Davis. He had the Life of the Party show, but Laugh Factory owner Jamie Masada.
He's like, come on, buddy, there's more than one Life of the Party.
So,
yeah.
I don't know what happened there, but I don't want to get blamed.
This is like a party network. I'm Darren Carter, the party starter. You're the party animal, and then the Life of the Party.
Party.
This is like
we're the least party animals of all.
I know.
Now.
I know. Right now, the subject is what time do you go to bed? It's like
now it's all about you're a boxer now, and you work out every day. And
watch the Waltons and
you watch the Waltons, and you take these 8-mile walks. And
I love those, man. You got to go on one of those hikes with me, man. We'll it's so fun.
I'm a little nervous if I can make it. I mean, I'm in pretty good shape, but I don't know about those long treks up the mountain. I mean, you go up entire mountains, man.
I know. We'll do a shorter one. I love that. I just feel like we're so blessed to have like these mountains right here. Like Griffith Park is literally like 2 exits away, 3 exits away, whatever it is. And I'm like, here we are with these mountains, man. Like it's crazy.
Those are some of the tallest mountains in the world. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of it's covered by cloud cover, so you can't see how tall they really are. Right. But they are among the tallest in the world.
I mean, there's this one part where I was like, I think it might be called Dante's View or something. It's somewhere up there, and you're looking down at the observatory. I mean, that's how high it is. And you're looking straight across at airplanes, and you're looking at downtown LA, and it's really, and in fact,
I went up there one time and I saw the comedian Dante. He was up there looking over the edge. So it literally was Dante's View.
It's crazy because you look at one side of the mountain, you see like downtown LA, and you can see the ocean, and then you look at the other side and you see Glendale.
Crime.
Yeah, crime.
Getting ripped off.
Yeah, you see crime. You should bring your binoculars up there. But no, my wife and son, they wanted to keep going higher. And I actually got to be honest, I was getting a little nervous. And then I saw this couple come up, and like the lady had a shirt that said like stunt person, or I'm a stunt man, or something like that. And I remember asking my wife, I go, I wonder if there really are, if there's like a couple of stuntmen, And my wife was like, anybody can buy that shirt. You could get that at Target. Like, she goes, Darren, just because you're afraid to climb up a hill, they must be a stuntman. No.
Jeez. Well, yeah. I mean, it's good for you though. It's a good workout.
Oh yeah. We don't have to go that high. We can go a little bit lower, but, hey, I got it. Let's do a couple of segments. I want to talk about some of the jokes you've been working on, man. You got a lot of funny stuff. I don't know if you saw my text earlier, but that would be man. I think you could update that joke. That's a good one about the. I don't know. Can you see your text?
I didn't see it yet. No. What did you send me?
Okay. I remember you used to do a joke. You go, life sucks. I had to use my tax refund to buy a tank of gas.
Right.
So now you could be like, you
can bring that back. Yeah.
Life sucks. I had to use my Joe Biden stimulus check to buy a tank of gas. Like make it all like fresh. Bam.
Did you send me that?
Yeah, I just sent you that as a text. Another one of your old jokes. I don't know if you can still do it, but do you remember this one? About it raining so hard, I saw a pimp putting sandbags around his hooker.
Yeah, that was an old joke I had.
These are great. Tell us about like these.
Let me read a couple of them. Hold on a second.
Cool.
All right. I'm just because I'm writing that down. All right, here we go. Well, Dr. Fauci's back in the news. Yeah, he's like Puxatawny Tony. He pops up out of his hole We have 4 more months of crapping our pants.
4 more months of COVID or something, or 4 more months of, yeah.
Yeah. Christmas is coming up. One place you don't want to shop this year is for Christmas is Omicron being pitched. Omicron, of course, is the new variant. Omicron is a Greek word meaning Joe Biden is definitely going to screw this word up.
Yeah.
And Omicron, it really, to me, it sounds like a villain from the Transformer movies.
Yeah. Form of variant.
Omicron. And we just had Thanksgiving, of course. I didn't take any chances this year, D. I had a fully vaccinated free-range turkey, and then I basted it with AstraZeneca.
Hey, I love this joke. Can you please tell about your sister and the turkey?
Well, my sister's vegetarian. She wanted to go get a tofurkey. So I told her to tofurk herself.
I love that.
That's what I did. We have Black Friday. I'm waiting for Smash and Grab Sunday.
How do these guys do that?
In California, they had 80 people involved in the Smash and Grab. Like, how do you organize that? I can't get 10 people to come to my birthday party.
I'll be like that morning DJ. Aww. Aww. The daytime shift, 10 to 2. Aww.
And, it's been hot out lately, D. I was, how hot? Well, so I was sweating like Kyle Rittenhouse watching a crying game. It's bad, too. The economy's bad, too. It's so bad the kids are writing to Santa, and he's writing back, not this year, supply chain problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is a good excuse not to have to buy your girlfriend or significant other a gift. I'm sorry, it's on a boat in the harbor, honey.
That darn supply chain. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for something.
I love your style when you always snap your fingers at the end. So I'll do the snap.
There you go. Yeah, well, it's something I've done for a while. I got in trouble, though, in acting class. I got kicked out of acting class because I was snapping at the end of the, when I would do the lines. I would say, we were doing Hamlet, and I was like, to be or not to be? That is the question, snap. And then I pulled over by a cop the other day. He's like, do you know how fast you were going? I was like, isn't that your job? And then I snapped. And, just always in trouble there.
With that snap. How about jury duty? You ever do jury duty?
Yeah, I did jury duty. That's right. You know about that. I got in trouble there, too. They go, is this guy guilty? I go, are you kidding? Look at him. And then I snap. Yeah, I got to get going. I got a tea time. Let's get this over with. Come on.
Yeah. I got some questions. I said that the great Frazer Smith will be on the Pocket Party podcast, and people sent their questions in. Let's ask you a few questions.
Let's do it.
Okay. Here we go. The questions are coming in. Here we go. All right. From Zmur Andranagian. He says, can you predict the Lions' record?
Well, they tied a game, so they can't be 0-17. So I would say 0-16, 0-16-1. I'm afraid they're going to lose.
I know that the Lions played the other day, and I was thinking about you, and I was like, I wonder if they won or lost, and they lost. It was like a really bad record. So
it's bad. Like I called up Siri. I go, when are the Lions playing? And she goes, who cares? They're going to lose.
Yeah, that's got to be. I mean, when you watch a Lions game, do you just know they're going to lose at the end of it, but you still enjoy it, or is it just too painful, or what's the experience like?
Well, it's gotten to the point where it's pretty painful because there was a time when we were never really good, but there was a time when we were okay. So that, you could win a few of those games, Now it seems like we lose all of them, even the close ones. We just can't seem to, get over. And so now it is kind of frustrating, and I think Lions fans are starting to get a little bit fed up.
Yeah, that's got to be. I can imagine because I know even when I play like board games and I keep losing too many times in a row, it's not fun. It's just not fun.
Yeah, it never. Well, if you lose once in a while, big deal. But everybody does. But when you lose continually, it's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, you're like, come on.
What's really bad is I've got all my gear. I've got the like I've got my the mats in my car are Lions mats, and I've got a
oh no.
license plate holder, and I've got all kinds of Lions T-shirts and jackets, and you're afraid to wear them out. People mock you.
You're handing your keys to the valet. It says Lions on the keychain. You're like,
oh man, I did that. I drove into my car dealership, and the guy saw my Lions license plate holder, and he goes, "Why lower the price of the vehicle?" Getting heckled by my car dealer.
We got a couple of shout outs too. Shout out from Paul, Douglas, Moomjean, Alan Bursky. Shout out. Oh, and Brian McDaniels.
Alan Bursky, my old buddy.
Brian,
he's the youngest guy ever on the Tonight Show.
I wonder how old he was. Any idea? Like, was he like in his 30s or 20s?
He was like 17.
No.
17, and he was a comic on the Tonight Show. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, that is wild. Our next guest,
crazy.
We have to put him up first. He has school in the morning. Wow. Brian McDaniel asked, "Does he know how? He goes? Does Frazer Smith know how much joy he brings to other comedians?" That's really sweet.
It's very nice to hear that. I really just always try to be nice to everybody. I guess that's a pretty simple thing. I mean, I it's just kind of my nature. But I do like all the other comics, and we're pretty much a family in a weird way.
Shout out to Luca Palanca, and also Alex Bernstein has a question. Oh, go ahead.
Well, Luca Palanca is an old friend. This guy is a really talented comedian and a great actor and writer as well. He's got a script that I just think is dynamite, and he's also got a great short. I think it may be on the internet. I can't remember the name of it, but he is really talented.
He really is. Alex Bernstein asks, and I don't know what this means, but it's I think he's probably a fan of your radio show. He says, "Ask him if Shecky ever got him his jet."
Well, I used to always say, Shecky Green. I knew Shecky Green, the great comedian from the '60s, and so, for whatever reason, at the end of my show, my radio show, every morning, I had a sound effect of a jet, and I would just go, "Shecky, get the jet." And then at the end of the show, and so you hear this sound effect. And that's what that was. Shecky, get the jet.
Oh, that's
cool.
And
one day, I'll tell you a quick story. I was with, I had Norm, who just recently passed away and was one of my all-time favorites, Norm Macdonald, and Bob Saget, another favorite of mine, both on my radio show that morning. So we went to Nate and Al's Deli in Beverly Hills for lunch, and we're eating, and we hear this guy on the table behind us. There's somebody standing on the table doing stand-up comedy. And we look around, and it's Shecky Green. This is in the middle of the day. So we go, "Wait a minute, Shecky Green." So he comes and sits at our table, and then he just told us Vegas stories for hours.
Oh,
we were fascinated.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so
Great
cool.
Shecky Green.
I love it. We should go to Nate and Al's sometime. I want to see if it still has the magic. Greenblatt's closed right next to the Laugh Factory, so we can't go there really.
It's funny. I was thinking about that today because my friend Jeff was the owner, and I was thinking, wow, it was there for 100 years. All of a sudden, they decide to close.
It looks like it's still kind of open because the last time I looked in the window, you still see all the wine bottles and stuff. So,
well, I wonder if they're thinking about maybe reopening, or I don't know what'll happen if they may sell it. I don't know. But it's certainly a long-time institution. We'll have to go to Nate and Al.
Okay, this is Junior, the barbecue kid. He asks, when is he bringing back the Sunday crew together?
Barbecue Kid is another good friend. He used to come over and barbecue for my guests on my radio show. He's a chef, and he's a really good barbecue guy. So he had always had fantastic food for my guests.
So good.
But we got in trouble one day because we barbecued inside and all the smoke stayed in there. And when people came in the next morning, there was a huge cloud of smoke, so I got yelled at by the boss. To stop the barbecue.
I know. See, now that's different because back in the 80s, the smoke was something different. Ooh, wait, bow, wow.
Well, exactly. There was plenty of that, too, by the way.
Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to... Oh, Alan Murray asks, ask him about the movie he was in, Tag.
Well, I was in a movie called The Assassination Game, and Linda Hamilton was one of the stars of that movie, and I played a secret agent guy who was, he wasn't really a secret agent. He thought he was, and he was taking this game around from town to town called The Assassination Game. And it was basically, you play it like a college campus would play the game, and it was kind of like, Where's Waldo? You had to find, and then you had to shoot them with a dart. People would you had to kill someone or shoot someone with a dart, a rubber dart. Well, then someone put a real gun in there and was actually killing people.
Alec Baldwin.
That was the assassination game. Well,
I know it's sad.
A little similar, maybe,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But Alan Murray's another talented guy, a great friend of mine. He is a really good warm-up guy for TV shows.
That's a special skill to have, to do that. That's like...
You've got to be really able to talk for a long time. And Alan Murray is really funny. He's perfect for that.
Shout out to Jim Vartan, my cousin. He says, tell him Cousin Jim says, hey, and it's time for another Vegas trip. That was so cool.
Right on, bro.
Jim had dinner with us.
Let's get that going.
Yeah. Brian writes, Brian Figaro. Ask Frazer if he's had any good Jim Ladd adventures, and please thank him for being awesome.
Well, thank you, Brian. I love Jim Ladd. He's my old pal. A great DJ, a legendary disc jockey, really. And we had plenty of stories back in the day. We hung out all the time back in the day. Not so much now. He's moved to Northern California. He still has his show on Sirius XM, but he was the king of the LA airwaves for many, many years.
Yeah.
And talk about smoke in the hallway. That's Jim Ladd all the way.
And Jeffrey Peterson, our buddy in Vegas, he says, when is KLOS bringing him back? Everybody wants to know when KLOS is bringing you back. I don't know. Do you know the answer, or is it up in the air?
I really don't know, D. But the way this thing keeps going with the new variants and everything, it's a big corporation. KLOS is a great station, legendary powerhouse station, but they're also, a big entity, and they have a lot of employees. So they don't want to bring everybody back too quickly if there's going to continue to be, issues over the COVID. And we were kind of all hoping that was done and that we could move forward. But, now we've got a new one. And, just keeps going like that. So we'll have to see. But hopefully soon.
Yeah. Cool. Now let me ask you a couple of, let's do some Christmas trivia, and then we'll send you on your way. These are, I think we'll see how you do on this. Christmas trivia, so get in the Christmas spirit.
By the way, do well with the trivia. Okay.
I know.
I've never gotten any of them right, not one.
Oh, wait. Oh, man. Somebody else had another question. Oh, man. Oh, I forgot to go. There's one more place I was supposed to ask you. It was about new wave bands, or were there some... Oh, yeah. Shout out to Christopher McRae. He says... ask Frazer about any 80s British new wave groups.
80s British new wave groups. Well, I liked, I was listening to Adam and the Ants, Adam Ant, the other day, and what's the song?
If I strip for you, you strip
Christian Dior. I love that song, Christian Dior. I loved all those bands, man. ABC. Great band.
I feel like when you were doing radio, when you came to LA, like that was probably the kind of music that you actually listened to. So that was probably a good thing that you were on the radio and that was the music.
I was on K-Rock when all the new music came in. and a lot of it was British. And of course, Rodney Bingenheimer, who was a DJ there, was really knowledgeable about all those bands, and really was the first guy to ever play them. He turned me on to a lot of those bands. I had basically been a classic rock kind of regular AOR type jock, and then I learned all that new music from Rodney.
That's cool. I mean, I would imagine like when I first got into radio back in the day, I was, it was a top 40 station, and I was that age, and that was the kind of music I already liked. But I can imagine like if you're a jock or whatever, DJ, and then you got to pay your bills, so you're like, well, I guess I'm going to go over to this soft listening country Christmas channel, or
you kind of go where you can get the dough, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, and then the audience thinks you lost your mind. They're like, how do you go from heavy metal to elevator music? What?
Exactly. Hey, I'm Frazer Smith. Here's some elevator music.
Well, you got to pay the bills.
I know. By the way, I do love Christmas music, and I've been listening to it on Spotify and with these different Christmas playlists. But I found out there's only certain places that it really fits. Like I actually tried at Griffith Park to go up the hill with Christmas music, and it just doesn't. When you're like out of breath and you're hearing Silent Night. And they canceled that song. Which one is it? Maybe it's cold outside.
Maybe it's cold outside. Dean Martin, because it was of sexually inappropriate lyrics. But then they have Santa Baby on the radio, where she's talking about having sex with Santa to get yachts and
I know.
And cars.
I know. It's exactly. That's not. Yeah, totally right.
I mean, come on.
Okay, here we go. Here's some questions. What did the other reindeer not let Rudolph do because of his shiny nose?
Rudolph couldn't. He wasn't allowed to. He wasn't. He wasn't allowed to go to the gym.
No, he wasn't allowed in any reindeer games.
Oh, okay. Well, that's close.
Yeah. How many ghosts show up in A Christmas Carol?
I'm going to say 12.
4. Where was baby Jesus born?
Oh, baby Jesus was born in the manger, Bethlehem.
Yeah, Bethlehem. Yes, you got it.
Yeah.
The movie Miracle on 34th Street is based on a real-life department store. What store is it?
Gimbal.
Macy's.
Oh, okay.
Can you? What are the two most popular? Oh, speaking of nicknames, what are the two most popular nicknames for Santa Claus?
Saint Nick and hold on a second. Saint Nick and Cheese Face.
Kris Kringle.
Oh, Kris Kringle. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you work with speaking of Santa Claus, you work with Tim Allen a lot.
I did well in the trivia. I got 1.
I know. He plays Santa in a movie. Tim Allen.
Yeah, Tim Allen. Oh, Tim Allen's great. Great comedian and great talented actor. And I love that movie, The Santa Claus.
I know, it's so cool. And the classic Christmas movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch was described in 3 words. What are they?
3 words for the Grinch who stole Christmas.
This one might be hard. If you haven't seen the movie, I'll just give it to you. Stink, stank, stunk.
Well, I wouldn't have got that, but I can see where that could be true.
Yeah. We'll do 2 more, then we'll send you on your way.
Okay.
Which country did eggnog come from?
Eggnog. I'm going to go with Switzerland.
England. Here's a good one. In the song Winter Wonderland, what do we call the snowman? That's too hard. Parson Brown. Nobody knows that. Who?
Oh, nobody knows that.
Nobody knows that. I know. I'm trying to get one. These are getting harder. I thought they were too easy at first. Here's an easy one.
I got it. Okay.
Here's
Feliz Navidad.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Let's stop there. I got one.
Yeah, I got one.
How about that?
How about
That's
that?
actually better than I did last time. I didn't get any last time.
I
on
know.
the show.
And that last time I was like, oh, this will be easy. It's like 80s trivia about music or something. And
I didn't even get that easy 80s trivia, which is my whole background. So I'm an idiot. Let's be honest.
It's tough though, because I'm looking at the answers, and when one person knows the answers, it's just harder,
That's no excuse. I'm just bad at trivia.
No, you're good. You're good. What's something you kind of know a lot about? Like probably like football, like Detroit Lions stuff, maybe.
Well, I know a lot about, I guess, college football, and also pro football too.
I just Googled Detroit Lions trivia. I don't even know if this is a thing. What city did the Detroit Lions first call home? Portsmouth, Ohio. There's 4 answers. I can give you a choice.
Okay.
Portsmouth, Ohio, Flint, Michigan, Muncie, Indiana, Springfield, Illinois.
Portsmouth, Ohio.
Yes. Oh, wait. Yes, that's correct. Despite some early success, they couldn't survive there because it's the NFL's second smallest city ahead of Green Bay. The team was purchased and relocated to Detroit for the 1934 season. Oh, here's a good one. Oh, you probably know this one because I feel like this would be an easy one. I don't know the answer, but I feel like you would. Which player supposedly put a 50-year curse on the Detroit Lions?
I think it was Bobby Lane.
Yeah, Bobby Lane, because there was a multiple choice, and Bobby Lane in 1958.
He was our all-pro quarterback. Well, listen, I have to run because I have to go do my show.
Okay.
But I do always love coming on your show. Love all your listeners. They are terrific, and happy holidays to all of you.
Happy holiday. Last question. What were the Lions originally called? Pirates, Tornadoes, Spartans, or Wolverines?
Spartans.
You got it. You're a winner. Ding, 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 ding. Frazer, you're the best. Go have a great day, and thank you for being on the Pocket Party podcast. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to you, and Darren, you are the party starter.
You got it. All right, buddy. See ya. Thank you, Frazer. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
That's it, man. Frazer, isn't he great? I'm going to meet with him later this week. Oh, man. He's awesome. Thank you guys for listening to the Pocket Party podcast. I'm going to change gears now. I want to mention that a frequent guest and friend of the show, John DiResta, who recently did the podcast, episode 198. I'm reading this from his Instagram. John writes, "My wife, Frances, passed away today. She will be deeply missed. If you're in a position to donate to my family's GoFundMe, it is greatly appreciated." And he has a link on his Instagram. It was sudden and shocking. And, you felt the love in the home when I'd go to John's house. And I went there and watched UFC with John and another friend. And his wife had made some dinner, and I could not get enough of that chili. It was delicious. And I want to say that I want to thank John for his friendship, and my heart goes out to him and his family during this time. So if you want to say a nice word to John DiResta, go to his Instagram and, or maybe his Facebook, and just say some kind words, something from the heart. And that is it, man. Love you, John, if you're listening, and love you, DiRestas. You guys are awesome. And my heart goes out to you, and may her memory be a blessing. All right, guys, that's it. And we'll see you soon. God bless. Have a great day.